Hello and welcome everybody. We're going to be talking about the 20th of June patch notes, which I actually recorded a video about the patch notes yesterday, but it mostly consisted of me face palming at the twerk changes, because the twerk changes were actually face palm worthy. So I'm not going to be talking about them today. I'm just going to be talking about the laser changes, which I am also thoroughly disappointed in. So we're just going to go into the laser changes. You can read this all for yourself. I'm just going to provide my thoughts about what I think about the laser changes. So the small caliber of lasers overall got a gigantic nerf besides the IS small. So the IS small, yeah, you reduced its heat. It was already really heat efficient and you reduced its heat. This is not enticing enough for people to bring an IS small laser. Like, it's only 180, 150-ish meters of range, I forgot. And the alpha is so low, it's like 3 damage for half a ton. Like, that's not a lot. I'd rather bring a medium laser with, yes, it's half a ton more, but it has a lot more range. It's like, it has 100% more range than the IS small. So, still no reason to bring the IS small. PGI completely missed the point of, completely missed the reason why small pulses were only brought on mechs like the Locust. It's because of its really short range. So that means that only a Locust could run small pulses and boat them effectively, because it can get in and out of dodge really easily. And now they reduce its alpha damage, but reduce its cooldown. So basically what PGI is trying to get us to do is to be in a more sustained fight instead of peek and back like with the Locust. This is basically forcing a light mech to be in a sustained ball, which is what you don't want to do, because you tend to get shot more often if you sustain the fight, unless your team is there with you. I don't understand this change. What small pulses needed was, IS small pulses was a range increase by like 30 meters. You increase their range by 30 meters, 150 meters, they'd be significantly more useful, and a lot more mechs would be able to use them effectively and boat them effectively. But right now, as it stands, they completely missed the point and they reduce damage and reduce the cooldown. ER smalls, I don't know why they nerfed the ER smalls. ER smalls were in a decent place, and then they decided to nerf them by increasing the duration and increasing the cooldown. I really don't understand this change at all. It doesn't make any sense. Considering that small lasers weren't really taken over small pulses for the most part. And now, speaking of small pulses, they reduced its alpha damage by 33%. Yes, you reduced the heat. Yes, you reduced the cooldown. Yes, you reduced the duration. But I did the math. It's an overall 25% damage decrease. Look, old DPS, new DPS. That is very significant. Like, this is a 25% overall damage nerf. This is very bad. You're basically screwing over every single mech that ran small pulses well, namely the Arctic Cheetah, the Nova, and the Gargoyle. So now the Gargoyle has, I don't know, you can't run the Gargoyle with small pulses anymore because it got nerfed like this. It doesn't make any sense. Like, oh yeah, sure, wow, okay, so Clan ER Smalls got like a 20-ish, 25-ish%. I can't really mental math that well. Overall damage nerf for some reason, which it didn't really warrant. Yeah, small pulses more or less maintains its overall DPS, but it needs a range increase. That's what it really needs, and it wasn't given it. And Clan small pulses basically got fucked right up the asshole and are almost completely useless now. But if you look at the heat per second, sure, your heat per second, yeah, you produce slightly more heat per second. Never mind, we're not going to talk about it. So overall, I think that the changes they made to the small caliber of lasers for both IS and Clan are absolutely horrible. They just made a niche weapon system useless. Like, you are given less reason to run this super niche weapon system. So yeah, like, I may be exaggerating a bit, but I feel like the small caliber lasers just got completely shafted. So run your small pulse max while you can before they get absolutely nerfed. I'm going to be doing that later. I'm going to be running the shit out of my Nova before it gets nerfed. Man, I love that mech. Too bad it's getting nerfed. Another two of my favorite mechs getting nerfed. The Cheetah and the Nova. Feels bad. Medium lasers for IS got a significant buff. Like, IS medium lasers got a significant heat reduction. If I can math, which I can't, hang on, I think that's a 10. I really can't math. That's not 10%. It's roughly a 15% heat reduction for IS medium laser. That's very, very good. So now your laser boats that ran, like the Jenna F that ran 6 medium lasers, will be a lot more heat efficient. So the Jenna F is a lot more viable now with the 6 medium lasers over the Wolfhound with the 5 medium pulse. Speaking of medium pulses and the Wolfhound, the medium pulses also got a buff. They got a DPS increase and a heat decrease, a 5% heat decrease, which is still fairly significant, and a cooldown reduction, which I don't really care for, but still it's welcomed. So IS medium lasers, medium caliber lasers got a significant buff. I like it, considering that the clan counterparts are just so much better. Speaking of the clan lasers, I am going into segues like a champ here. They did nerf the overall, like they nerfed the cooldown, which is, yeah, so what? Like, it doesn't really bother me that they nerfed the cooldown, because medium lasers, it was part of an alpha, like you alpha, and then that's it. You're not caring about the DPS and stuff like that. They also increased the duration by it's a noticeable amount, but it's manageable. Like, what I can say is that it's more reason to spec into the laser duration tree for clans, because you increase its duration, and that means that you get more of a, since the laser duration tree is a percentage base, you get more of a reduction. Granted, it's not to the levels of it, to its original levels as it stands right now, but it's, yeah, I don't know. See, if I could word my sentences properly, this wouldn't be an issue. I can't word them right now because I just woke up and I decided to record a video. Clan medium pulses got a I like this change. I really like this change. They reduced its heat by, hang on, let me math. I can't math, never mind. Wait, 33%? What's half of 33%? Like 12%. They reduced its heat by like 12%, which is really nice. Yes, they did reduce its damage, but by 0.5, it's not a lot. And then they increased its duration by 0.5, which is barely noticeable. I'm perfectly fine with this. So the medium caliber of lasers for IS and clan actually got off pretty well. Medium lasers got a huge buff for IS. Clan medium, IS medium pulses got a significant buff as well. Yes, they have slightly more heat per second, but that's because of their cooldown reduction, but the overall heat reduction is pretty nice. Clan ER medium lasers got a DPS decrease, sure, they got laser duration increase, so, but it doesn't really harm the viability of the clan ER medium. It will still be ran a lot. Clan medium pulses got a very good buff. Yes, they have a, wow, they actually have a pretty significant DPS reduction. That is like 10%, yeah, excuse me, 10% DPS reduction, but overall, clan medium pulses are more worth running. So the medium caliber lasers got off start free. I'm trying to use terms that I can't remember clearly. So anyway, let's just move on to the large caliber of lasers now. So what PGI has done, so I'm looking at the IS large and ISER large. What PGI has done is very interesting because this indicates how they will balance ISER mediums and ISER smalls. So what they've done is they reduce the cooldown, okay, and then increase the duration, sure, perfectly fine with that. Minor duration increase, I'm perfectly fine with that. But you look at the ISER large, they increase the cooldown, they make the cooldown significantly higher compared to the IS large, but then the duration is the same. So it's 1.1 second laser duration for both ISER large and IS large. What does that mean? It means that potentially ISER mediums would have the same laser duration as IS mediums. The only trade-off is the heat and the higher cooldown. That is very good. That is a good sign. That shows that I'm very excited now for ER mediums being introduced into this game. Because this is a very good sign that PGI won't, like, you know, make them completely useless, which they would have been, like, they might have been. But we still need to look at the heat numbers for ISER mediums when they come out, if they're significantly higher. But in any case, this change is perfectly fine. It doesn't really, it buffs ER largers, slight nerf to IS largers, perfectly fine. This is a decent change. It makes ER largers more viable and easier to run. Large pulses got a tap on the shoulder regarding a nerf. Yes, you reduce its alpha by 1. It's like a 9% damage decrease. You increase its cooldown, you reduce its cooldown, sure, but overall I'd say that this is a nerf, but this is a nerf that you can just completely disregard because it barely affects the weapon. Clan ER largest got a, if we look at the laser duration, like the laser duration reduction, this is a significant buff. You don't exactly run ER largest for its DPS anyway, so the reduction in duration and the increase in cooldowns, it's, in my opinion, it's an overall buff, because one of the main problems with Clan ER largest was that its laser duration was absolutely horrendous. It was so long that if you used it any closer than 400 meters, you'd have a hard time with that weapon system. So I like this change. It makes ER largest a lot easier to run. Clan large pulses got a tap on the shoulder, same thing with the IS large pulse. Yeah, you reduce its damage by 1, but at most you'd normally run what, 2 large pulses plus a bunch of mediums, so that means you only have 2 less alpha. So, and you reduce its duration by an insignificant amount, and you reduce its cooldown by an insignificant amount. So the large laser caliber, the large caliber of lasers rather, got off pretty well. Like, yes, you see a lot of red numbers here, but overall I'd say that large lasers got a minor nerf. Clan IS ER largest got a minor buff. Clan ER largest got a significant buff. IS large pulses got a very minor nerf. Same for Clan large pulses. So overall, the only class of lasers that got really nerfed was the smalls. The smalls got nerfed real bad, and like, did not exactly have a place in the game after this patch. I don't understand. I don't understand why they did these changes, but I don't know. Chris Laurie, in his infinite wisdom, Chris Laurie is the balance guy, by the way. Like, I don't know why he decided this was a good idea. It's like he's not even playing the game, he's playing his own little spreadsheet warrior like Paul was. Okay, so carrying on from that sidetrack, medium lasers start off pretty fine as well, and large lasers start off pretty good. So those are my thoughts on the changes to the lasers. Oh wait, I forgot to mention PPC nerf. Yay. Oh no, you increase its cooldown by 0.5 seconds. We clearly used Clan ER PPCs for their raw DPS output. Yay. Oh, I wish you could see me face palming right now. This is an unnecessary nerf, but this nerf barely affects the viability of Clan ER PPCs, let's just put it that way. Oh, LRM nerf, yay! And AMS buff, yay! I'm actually happy about the AMS buff, it's really good. Anything to cleanse the scourge of the LRMs is welcomed. Now, you're seeing here, Juju, why don't you look at the quirks list, the updated quirks? No, I will not, because it will mostly consist of me face palming and you will not get anything productive out of it. So that is it for this video. I hope you'll enjoy it. Please do share it with your friends so that they know the state of the lasers. Because right now, large and medium lasers are in a good spot, in a decent spot, whereas the smalls are completely fucked. Like the video if you like it, disliked it, disliked it. Share with me your thoughts about these weapon changes down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye bye.